Hi moms and dads. I think it's important that we take a moment to touch in as we move forward in January. The kids are getting back at it, they're back in school, and we are still having so many restrictions. So restrictions on our lives also mean restrictions on our children and our teens as well. And I think we really need to be paying attention more and more as these restrictions on the teens and the children continue. There are some pieces of concern, obviously, that we all share for the impact on them, for the impact for their futures, but just presently the impact on their mental well-being. So I'm going to try and keep this as quick as I can. I want to go through some of the pieces about concerns and then also some of the pieces about what we can hopefully do to remedy or soften the negative impact, because there is a negative impact on the mental well-being for our kids and our teens right now. So keeping an eye on our kids. So previous to the lockdown, there's some things that would have been seemingly normal, especially with teenagers, things like really keeping isolated in their bedroom, shutting their door, guarding their privacy. Sometimes our older children, kids, teens, all of them can struggle with maintaining their hygiene or excessively being involved in rituals of hygiene. You know, young girls who start overdoing makeup and things like this. Preteens, adolescents, very low moods are normal. Anger or irritability, all these things are very normal. And so previous to the lockdown, we would say to ourselves or to our friends, we would hear from our support system, go easy on yourself. This is a normal part of development. They're just being an adolescent or a preteen. Right now, we need to change that perspective. Some of these things now can be warning signs when we are already in restricted isolation and our people, our children, our teenagers, our partners, the people that we love, are isolating themselves further. They're not coming out. They're spending more time in their bed. They are avoiding other things that they used to enjoy doing. They're not eating dinner at the dinner table. They're neglecting meals. They're neglecting their hygiene even more than the rest of us. Because let's be serious, COVID hair is a thing, right? But it's just these curious clues that we need to be more aware of. Does this have increased meaning? Is this more than just a developmental angsty piece that someone is going through? What was seemingly normal or expected developmentally before, now we have to be more alert to. Number one. Number two, so shifts in moods. And I spoke about this earlier in the lockdown in the spring of 2020. We really want to be alert to, has my child or my teen really shifted? So a child that used to be really subdued and calm is now hyper, exaggerated, moody, even over the top excited. So there's a pull away from the temperament that I'm used to with this individual, and vice versa. My very outgoing, social, athletic, enduring, accomplished, whatever it might be, child is now very low, very subdued, not communicative. You're noticing some exaggerated shift. That's very concerning right now as well. Number three, shifts in how they are talking about their friends. Number one, are they talking about their friends? Right? Are your children and your teens talking about their friends? When our people, especially the young ones, stop talking about their friendships, that's very concerning, especially right now. We are far too isolated. We're far too isolated, and we are created for relationship. We are meant to have attachment and bonds to help co-regulate our nervous system, and without those relationships, we're at risk. So if our kids stop talking about their friends, that's very concerning. Sometimes prior to the lockdown, it could be a marker of concern if they're changing their friendship circles. So that's something to be mindful of. Has their friendship circle completely shifted? And that's something that we would want to be curious about as well. But it's much more alarming if they've stopped speaking about friends, acquaintances, or something like that. Number 4, what do we do? Okay, we're in isolation. There are so many things that are saying, or so many voices saying, keep your bubble small, small, small. It should just be your immediate family. But prior to the second lockdown, prior to when things opened up for Alberta in about June, July, we were encouraged to Cobubble. And I think that it is really important for parents to consider, like, how can we maintain safety? How can we maintain what is restriction and regulation over our lives? Unfortunately, that's a true reality right now. But somehow create space where our children can have physical contact with other children. Now, there's ways that we can do this. We might have to maintain large amounts of proximity. We might have to be masked. We might have to be outside. I see people going skiing. I see people are skating. We just want to make sure that we are also just following the guidelines, you guys. It's not a hill to die on. We got to maintain the guidelines and at the same time try to figure out ways to get our kids in touch with other children. Zoom is good. FaceTime, whatever these little things they're doing is good, but it's just not enough. There's something very different about having a physical presence with somebody else. Far more important right now is the relationships in the household. I know that you are busy. I know that you are enduring the emotional strain, the physical, psychological strain that we're all under. But our children and our teens really need us. So we need to find ways to be available, to be playful, to be listening, to be a safe haven, which is really a space where a child can come to us with their problems, where we can go to them and inquire and be okay when they say, get out of here, because when they're going through a hard time, they don't necessarily want to talk to us. It feels good to have somebody question us, though. Somebody cares enough to notice maybe I'm not doing well. Also, we want to create this secure base thing. That's a playful space where we're exploring the world together right now. So normally with teens especially, we're sort of saying, hey, go off and do your own thing, come back, tell me about it. But in lockdown and all of these restrictions, a lot of the secure base stuff is let's play together. So your kids like video games and you don't know what to do, figure it out. I've had to learn how to play some video games. If there's sort of things that you would like to do, maybe you invite them in to cook with you and they might not be as excited, but that's something that maybe you can cultivate. Playing games together, going for car rides, be silly at times, you know, car karaoke, teach them some good car dancing moves, whatever it is, to try and carve out some space that we are really just saying, hey, let's have some appropriate friendship, parent first, but we also need some of that fun social time together, because that's going to help with our mental health and their mental health. We're all far too restricted right now. Isolation is the enemy of mental health. I can't say it enough. Yeah, so just going into their room, inviting them into your space. Another thing with schooling that's really key is creating a conducive environment if your child is somebody who is going to be learning online. We need them to have a space that is physically supportive, that has support for their body and their back, okay, that they're comfortable. It should be a space that is separate from their bedroom, hopefully a space that is out in the family environment, that there is some energy of other people being around. We want to make sure that we're taking care of their laundry, that they have clean clothes to wear, that they have a positive space that's clean and orderly. All of these simple things that helps to take away some of that mental fatigue that our children and teens are facing. There's so many good tips and tricks for creating a conducive learning environment, and if you have any ideas, please feel free to comment below. All right, you guys, take care of yourselves and take care of your kids and your teens. Best of luck and blessings to you.